Here to celebrate the release of his highly anticipated second studio album, Evering Road, Tom Grennan, welcome to Soundcheck.
How you doing? You good?
We're not bad, thank you.
Good.
Whereabouts are you? North London?
I'm in North London right now, yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. What's that on your bed? Is that a dog?
It is a dog. She's I was trying to get her to go downstairs, but I thought I'd rather her just be there quiet than scratching on my door. So, yeah.
Hey, I know the feeling, man. It's all good. What kind of dog is it?
She's a Cocker Spaniel.
Nice.
You have a dog?
I have a dog, yeah.
What dog have
He's
you got?
That's my mum's now.
Oh.
He's a big dog. He's a big dog. He's like half Rottweiler, half German Shepherd that we think.
So the album then, Even Road, it's out. It's not only yours now, but it's the fans and it's the world. I mean, how does it feel to get it finally out there?
Yeah, Evering Road. It's amazing for it to be out. I feel like people have been wanting this album for a while. I've been wanting this album to come out. It's the story of love, heartbreak, and redemption. And I don't know, it's nice to finally kind of move on with that part of my life. Like, I've moved on already, but I mean, like, in the sense of like, it's finally out there and people can understand what kind of things I was going through and how I got there and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm buzzing for it to be out and I just hope people love it.
Absolutely. I mean, you touched on there about what you kind of went through and where this album sort of came from a place, but going back to Lighting Matches and the journey between Lighting Matches and Evering Road has been, a pretty mad roller coaster, but just to the point of Lighting Matches, that was a roller coaster in itself, wasn't it? How do you feel that you've changed from before the writing of Lighting Matches to the writing of Evering Road?
Massively. I feel like Lighting Matches is an album where I was finding my voice, I was finding my feet, and it was a collection of songs more than anything. Whereas Evering Road is the most honest I've ever been with lyrics and with songs, and it really tells the story of that street and that house I lived in and the feelings that I went through and like I said, the love I was in and the heartbreak that I felt and and how I became the new me and why I wanted to be the new me. Like I went through a lot of mental health stuff and I really struggled with parts of my life, and this is what the whole album was about. And unfortunately I lost someone who I was in a relationship with, but I needed to love myself before I could love anybody else. So yeah, it was a tough time and it was just a therapeutic time to write an album, to be honest, and it helped me out and I'm just buzzing it's other people's now and they can do what they want with it, and if it helps them then great, and if they love it then even better.
Would you say this was kind of like an easier record to write then? Because the first one, as you said, was like a collection of songs and you were writing, as with any debut album, about basically anything and everything in your life up until that point. But with this second album, you've really like honed it in and you've gone, right, this is what I'm writing about. This is what I want the album to be about. And the inspiration is pretty much on your doorstep as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Was it easier to process? I think I enjoyed the process more this time because it allowed me to kind of open up about my feelings and really kind of suss out what kind of things I was going through on my own. And also, like, it was just an album that I needed to make. I think for me, I've grown up. Lighting Matches, I was still quite young. I still am young, but I think for me, like, this process has been a process that I needed. If I didn't write this album, I don't know where I'd be, man. I think I'd still be struggling with a lot of self stuff, and it's just allowed me to open up and allowed me to kind of, I don't know, move on.
Yeah, for sure. And how do you deal with like the pressure of people's expectations going into making a second album? Because obviously they're a bit more present at that point. Are you good at kind of like ignoring all of that and focusing on what you want to make, or do you kind of feel that?
I think for me, I was concentrating more on me at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't really like. I knew that people wanted a second album, but at first I wasn't even writing this album. I was writing a whole different like thing. I was just writing another collection of songs, and it didn't make sense to me. And I wasn't happy, and I was going through a lot of shit, like I said. So when I started becoming honest, and when I started really like breaking down the barriers of like what was going on in my head and in my life, I just was like, I think this is what I need to write about. And I don't think I was thinking about anybody else apart from me and trying to heal and trying to get better, I suppose.
This is really interesting because in the album, like you just said, a lot about it is, or you know, your mental health and what you're experiencing at the time, you know, is all over this record. But also the physical element of where you were when you experienced it, London. Hence, the name of it is Evering Road.
Yeah. So I lived in East London with this relationship, and Evering Road is a place, like I say, in East London, and it was my home. It was like where like this relationship blossomed and where it fell to pieces. So yeah, when I was writing the album, I was still in East London, but now like I say, I've moved on and yeah.
But this because are you from North London though, or you?
No, I'm from a place called Bedford.
You are from Bedford. Oh, okay, because I feel like I don't know why, but North London, it seems to be quite apparent in your career a lot, or certainly London in itself, just from like this early shows you were doing at Slaughtered Lamb to the progression to Ali Pali is just incredible. And congratulations on that.
Thank you, man.
Incredible.
Yeah. I don't know, man. North London, I don't know. Like, don't know what it is about North London. I just ended up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to play your song Amen. How long does this track or any of your music really, how long does it usually take for it to go from that like initial idea to a fully fleshed out song?
Depends, man. It depends whether like I believe that the song's finished in a day. Could take 2 weeks, could take a month. It all depends on the song and all depends what I'm writing with. Depends on when I believe I've got the finished product. So I can't really say like when, but I can tell you like if I'm, sometimes it can be straight away, sometimes it can be months. So with Amen, it's definitely, it took a while. It took a minute to kind of get it right and feel like the finished thing. So yeah, I'm really proud of it.
Tom, let's talk about the getting number 1 and number 2 in the Big Top 40 this week is incredible. You know, how does that feel? That's just amazing. Congrats.
Yeah, like I'm buzzing, mate. Like I feel like I've been waiting for a while to even get into the charts, and I feel like 2 buses at the same time came along and here we are today. So I'm really proud. I'm proud to be part of Ella's song. I'm proud of Little Bit of Love, and I just hope they keep climbing up the charts. But right now, I think all I'm worried about is a number 1 album. I think like that's my main focus and my main aim. So hopefully, fingers crossed and pray to the gods above that I get that. But it's 2 top 40s, 2 number 1s and 2 whatever it is. It's just crazy.
Yeah. It is. I don't doubt for a second that you're going to not get number 1 album. You'll do it, mate. I'm sure. You talk about a Little Bit of Love there, and when you play that is going to go off along with This Is the Place. That's going to go off as well. When that drops, you must be so ready to get back out there.
Yeah, I think like everybody's missed it, man. Everybody's ready to party. Everybody's ready to feel and embrace people again, and shows and music have really, really been a massive part of everybody's life, and that's been taken away. So I think it's going to be some special moment when it all happens again, man. It's going to be great. I'm buzzing for it, and I can't wait to just get on stage and play the songs and hear people sing the songs, see if people know them or not. It's going to be great.
Absolutely, it will be. Funny story, actually. I saw you at Rise Festival. Do you remember Rise? A few years ago, 2018, in the height of lighting matches, and you were at the front, and you said that what one drove you was you at the back of that tent when it was before it was V Festival, and you were saying that is where I want to be, and you went and did it, and now you're ready, and you actually came down and I was standing at the front and you nipped my sunglasses, which was quite funny.
I'll do that.
Yeah. All right, Tom, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, boys, and I hope you love the album. If you can, make sure you get everybody that you know to order it, and get everybody on that Evergreen Road hype, man.